Hey everybody, today I thought I'd do a video showing you how to put a gallery and include photos on your WordPress website. Biggest problem we see with WordPress websites, or any sort of website quite frankly, is really huge images. And this slows down the page load time, and that affects your rankings in Google, how people react to your website because they can't wait for the photos to load, etc. etc. So I'm going to combine kind of two things together, getting images ready to upload and also uploading and making a gallery on a WordPress page. So let's make a new page, and we're going to call it gallery, and I'm going to publish that. Nice and simple. Now to get started, what we're going to need is a page. Now I always take the page and I put something on the page first. So I always put some text on there, even if it's just the letter A, B, whatever, just so that there's room, above what I'm working in, so I can get above the picture. And look, this is, I suppose, a fallback to desktop publishing days where things could get caught up, and you do see this sometimes. You just can't get in front of what you put in the page. So if you leave a space there before you start doing things, you can always go back and you can remove it afterwards. It's fine. It's up to you, but this is just a habit of mine. It's up to you whether you adopt it or not, but I can tell you it saved me a lot of times. So if we want to put pictures in, we basically click Add Media, which takes us into our media gallery where we've uploaded pictures before, and we go Create Gallery. And what we can do is choose a series of pictures and create the gallery and then insert it on the page. So it's pretty straightforward now. It used to be a lot more difficult. In fact, it used to be quite difficult, to say the least. But the key problem here is most images are too big. So when we go to actually upload them to the web, we find that they're massive, as in wide and tall, but also from the size of the file. So the average file size when you take a picture with a Google Pixel or an Apple iPhone or something is around 3 megabytes. Now 3 megabytes on the web is like downloading a house when you need a brick. Okay, that's the difference we're talking about here. So we need to compress our photos down and resize them for what we use. Now, the average website sits in around 1,000 pixels wide. That's the full width of the screen. Now, you can pull it wider and all that, but it tends to stay in that central block. And if you look at it on a phone, obviously it compresses it down even more. So it's worth, if you're going to add a 3 meg file, and the 3 meg file on average is around 3,000 pixels wide for a landscape shot, then you don't need 2,000 of those pixels, but you don't want to cut the photo up. You just need to resize the photo. Okay, we all understand that. We all know how to put something in a photocopier and shrink it and do all that sort of stuff. Okay, but how do you do it without losing quality? And this is where most people fail. Quality. So they downsize it and it destroys the photo, and you get this really crappy looking image. Okay, and we don't want that. So what do we do? Well, there's a little site called Squoosh, SQUOOSH.app, which is run by Google. And it's pretty simple. You take a photo. So this one is one I was working on to upload, but I'm going to take a new one. So this one is a picture I took with my camera phone. You can see I can zoom right out so you can see the whole photo. And I can zoom right in. You can see all the pixels there. It's around 1.3 megabytes in size, which is way too big. The rule of thumb is to try and get your pictures as close to 100 kilobytes as possible. So not 100 megabytes. This is a 1.3 megabyte. You're talking about 100 kilobytes, which is 1/10 of the size that this is. Now, if we look at the information, you'll see width 3,360 by height 1890. First thing we should do is, we don't really need it to be any wider than 1,000. Let's face facts. So let's drop it down to 1,000. So we're going to resize it. Now, if I just undo that, if you look down the bottom, you'll see just by loading it into Squoosh, it's compressed it down and it's now at 772 kilobytes. So it's almost half the size it was already. If we change this to 1,000, you can see it drops it down to 100 kilobytes. Now, what you can do is you can actually move this slider back and you can see, is it too compressed? Now notice the hair in this section here. See, it's getting a bit blurry. So if I bring up the quality a bit more, it won't be as noticeable. remember we're only going to be looking at it at about 1,000 pixels, which is this wide. So if you look at it around 1,000, that looks quite good. So you've lost some quality. Now it's up to you. You've got multiple levels of compression, and you can play around with different types of compression as well. You can make the photo a lot clearer than what this one is, okay? But on average, 90% of shots look pretty good. This one's been a little funny. So we can let's switch down to browser JPEG. Okay, not quite as obvious with that one. Brings up to 125 kilobits. Once we've done that, we can click the download arrow, and we're just going to call this 1A. I like to rename mine when I do them, so it's like 1-SM for small or compress, whatever you want to do. And we'll just put it in the folder with the other ones. And I'm going to get rid of the original. Okay, so now I have my photos. So that's how you can compress a photo. It's pretty straightforward. And now we need to get them into our gallery. So add media. The first thing we need to do is upload those files. So I have some photos which will now upload. Shouldn't take too long. I don't have a super fast upload speed, but you know, I think it'll pass with a push. So we're up to 3 photos, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So we've uploaded them, they're in the media. We're in Create Gallery. So all 6 have got ticks on them, you'll see. And you'll notice we've got here, Create New Gallery. So now we have a gallery. I can write a caption under each one. So if I put a name like that, so there's Ryan, Andrew, you'll see how that looks when it comes up on the page. It'll look different. Now, link to attachment file page or link to media file. 2 different choices. One makes a page with the picture, one makes the picture just show up. We'll leave it at that. How many columns? 3 columns, up to 9 columns. Random order, so each time it loads, it looks different. Thumbnail, medium, or large or full size. So we'll start out with thumbnail, and we'll go Insert Gallery. Okay, so there's our gallery. If we go Update, and we open link in new tab, you'll see now, here's our little gallery. And if I click the picture of Ryan, there's the picture of Ryan. Okay, can click back. Now, obviously, with my gallery, like anything, if I click it, I can get that little thing up. I can click it and I can change this. So let's go to attachment page and change that to medium and go Update Gallery. Update. Now I'm going to refresh this page. And you see the gallery looks slightly different now because rather than being a square thumbnail, they're the rectangles. So if I click on a picture now, it'll take me to a page with the description and all that. So that doesn't work as well in my personal opinion. Okay, so if we come back here, go into here, leave it on media file, we can bring these up to large now. I'm going to get rid of those. Go Update Gallery. That's funny, leftover image. Let's see what happens when we update it. And we'll go to our gallery and refresh. Okay, they're contained within the window, and now they switch back and forth. Now, there is a lot of gallery plugins. So this is the built-in one. With gallery plugins, you can have them pop over the top and do all sorts of things. So if I get this and go 2 columns, update, update, and I do this, you'll now see the images are a little bit bigger. Spacing difference, probably because I had a name under here and a name under here, etc. Okay, just refresh that and see if it removes it. There we go. So now it's removed. If you want to do a proper refresh, hold down the Shift key and then click the Reload Page little circular arrow, and it'll clear out any other information that's already stored there. So that's how you make a gallery. Nice and simple and easy to do. have fun with that, and maybe we'll look at a gallery plugin next time. But yeah, they can be a whole nother level of fun.